Alright, this is an update on my review of the Walther SP22. This is an M3 model, and I did one the other night, but the audio wasn't great, and as this is the only disassembly video that I found on the net, I wanted to make sure that it was a good one and that you could hear me and all that. This is a great gun. It's got a lot of plastic on the outside. It's got a plastic grip, plastic trigger, plastic safety, plastic rails. Comes with Picatinny rails and smooth rails. I got the smooth one on top here because I've got True Glow sights on it. The original ones that come on it are terrible, and it's got an extended magazine release here. It's European style. It's not that bad. A lot of people say they don't like it, but it just gives you a little bit of extra room. It comes with 2 magazines. When I first got it, they were not straight, so I took some pliers and straightened everything out, made the rounds come out the way I wanted them to, and not be in too far or too far up. And they're made out of stainless steel. It's got a good case to it. You just take these tabs, you push in the middle, you pull out on top. It's got foam on the inside, a place for your papers, toolkit we're going to be using here in a minute. I've got the Allen wrenches out already. It just takes 2 of them. The original sights, did not like them at all. If you get one of these things, then just spend $9 and get yourself some True Glows. It's got a space for your extra magazine, and that's that. So I'm going to show you how to take this thing apart real quick and go through some issues that I heard online while I was researching it. I was looking at a Ruger 2245 and a Buckmark as well, and all the reviews, it was really hard to take apart. It said the Ruger took like 2 hours the first time, and maybe if you're lucky, by the time you get used to it, it'll take you an hour and 15 minutes. But this thing, you just take off these cocking levers that attach directly to the bolt, and you take your other Allen wrench, your big guy, and it's got an Allen nut on this front plate. And I heard somebody in a review say, "Oh, that plastic plate on the front fell off while I was shooting it." This is not plastic. The first time you take it off, it's going to be kind of hard to get off. This is steel, and the only reason it will fall off is if you don't tighten it down. Also, make sure that your gun is unloaded before you start. I forgot to put that in there. But make sure that you don't have a round in the chamber, because you don't want to shoot yourself, and you don't want to shoot anybody else. Nobody needs any of that. But once you get everything off of it, those 3 things, that just slides right off. Your bolt, make sure that the bottom of the bolt clears the top of the chamber. That comes right off. Spring here is a double iron wire that's coiled down, and good quality part. It's got a lot of oil on it right now. But all this is good quality stuff. The only thing that's plastic, like I said, is on the outside of the gun. Everything else that's stainless steel. This is aircraft aluminum that's been machined. I think it's forged aluminum. But I mean, it's really light. It doesn't add a lot to the weight of the gun. Everything inside is steel. Everything in here except for this little bolt stop right here. You can't really see it because it's black too, but it's this little piece right here. It's at the end of the chamber, and it stops your bolt when it comes back. And that's one of the issues. People say that it broke after 300 rounds or 1,000 rounds, and I had to send it back to Springfield under warranty. I had to send it back twice to get it repaired. If worse comes to worse, you can have another one of these made and have your gunsmith put it on. That's not really that big of an issue to me. It doesn't seem to be doing that bad. I put 400 or 500 rounds through it already, and it doesn't seem to have worn at all. And another thing, it's got this little pin in here that's just, people say it's cheap pot metal. It's just sheet metal that's been rolled into a pin, and it's in there, and that's your firing pin, retaining pin. And people say that breaks after however many rounds. I don't remember exactly how many rounds, but one thing I did notice myself that I haven't heard anywhere else is this is made out of laser cut steel, it looks like, that has been, you know, rolled into shape, and then all the other components are in it. But laser cutting makes sharp edges, and there were some burrs in here right on that edge right there, and also over here that cut a little bit into the side of this rail. And it actually did more damage today when I was shooting it because I didn't get enough material. I didn't get enough of that burr off. So you really want to make sure that this is just really smooth. You don't want, I mean, take off the very top of this this point. Take it off. You know, just get it round. It's not going to make the gun shoot any different, and it's going to keep it from getting torn up like mine is already. And I'm not happy that it left the factory like that, but I mean, it's a small thing, and if you know that it's going to be a problem, you can go ahead and take care of it before it causes damage. But you know, just make sure that that's nice and rounded off, and also, you know, get the sides. You know, get in there and just get everything nice and smooth. Eventually I'm going to polish this, and I'm going to polish the inside of the receiver cover. But as far as problems, that's all that I've heard about it. I mean, this thing is a really nice gun. The barrel on it, 6 inches, it's match grade. It's great barrel, very accurate, puts it right where you want it every time. No complaints at all. But to put it back together, you just put your spring back on, and this retaining rod right here, it wobbles around. And you just put your bolt on there, and you line your retaining rod up and stick it in there, and then, you know, reverse of disassembly. You just put it back on, and one thing, or a couple things, there's a little tab in here. It's your bolt hold open for your last round. And when you got a clip in there, it'll keep the bolt open once you've fired that last round. You want to make sure that it's all the way in, so that this guy can slide all the way back. And you want to make sure that this tab right here on the trigger assembly fits into the groove for the rail right there. And you just put it on there. You make sure that goes right in that groove. Make sure that this goes in the groove on top, and support that while you're pushing it back, and that's it. Put your plate back on, you know, and I mean, I could take this thing apart and put it back together in under a minute probably, if I really wanted to, you know. Super simple. Super simple. This thing's made in Germany. I wish it was made here in America, but it was made in Germany, which, you know, maybe not altogether a bad thing, because they're the #1 country in the world as far as education goes. But good engineering on this thing. I really like it. As far as the appearance goes, you know, it's really futuristic and different looking, which shies a lot of people away from it. You know, the first time I saw it, it was at a pawn shop, and they had an M2 model that looked like this. Of course, this is the M3 model, but the guy called it a RoboCop gun. You know, like making fun of it. I loved RoboCop when I was a kid, and this gun, you know, regardless of whether you like the way it looks, it fits in your hand like it was made for your hand. You know, like they took a mold of your hand, and, you know, as far as my hand goes, my buddy said the same thing today. He said, man, it feels like they made it just for me. And they make a slim grip for this thing too, for, you know, kids or maybe a woman that has smaller hands. That would be more accommodating. It's, I guess, thinner that way. But just a great gun. And I don't plan on getting rid of it anytime soon. You know, I got a really good deal on it. It cost me just as much as, you know, a Ruger with a 4-inch barrel would have cost me. And I am very happy with it. So I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of it anytime soon. Anything that goes wrong with it, I'll just fix it and keep going, because I'm going to have this thing for a while. And I hope that you enjoyed the video here and learned something from it. So if you have any comments, questions, you want more in-depth information on it, whatever, maybe another video, just let me know. Don't be afraid to comment, and thanks for watching.